Matthew Perry, obviously that wasn't that long ago. Lisa Marie Presley. Lance Reddick, I do remember that. Paul Rubens, I remember that. That was sad.
The sausages are getting more delicious.
William Rotunda died. That's another wrestler.
I just don't have the holidays without Little Smokies. Bathed in barbecue sauce.
Why is this?
Which doctor are you picking? Where's the sound on this? Something's weird.
You think? What's going on?
No sound effects, no music. It's like the audio files aren't pulling up or something. So I definitely remember sound. I definitely remember this having something. Or it could just be another delusion. I texted you that one day saying of like, did you upload, last night's stream? Because I swear to God, that I watched the 2 hour. I didn't watch the full video, but I pulled it up on YouTube, and there was the full thing uploaded on YouTube. I swear that I saw that, but then when I went back later, I was at work while I was doing that, and went back later. No, that absolutely didn't happen, unless if you deleted it, which would be kind of weird.
Why would I do that?
Like, why would you upload it and then delete it? Of like, that's very bizarre. So I've been
not working at all.
Yeah.
No, I mean that's not working. That's a separate thing. So I think that what needs to be running is this, and it is running. Just look, it has Doctor Who on it right now. So let's just restart that. Sorry guys, just take a second.
Yeah. It happens sometimes, changing from table to table, making sure that everything operates the way it should. But we'll get you some more game action here going pretty soon. We just have to troubleshoot every once in a while. It's a lot that we got going on, and we get it figured out, and then things change, and then we got to figure it out again. What I'm really excited for, though, is Deadpool 3. Now, Hugh Jackman staying in Wolverine shape for as long as that I'm sure that he's had to.
Especially the strike, yeah.
Yeah, with the strike and everything of like, I'm not just talking about longevity. I'm talking about of like, you get that ripped and then it's easy. It's kind of easy to maintain your physique and whatnot, and for you to get that ripped again, but that's still a difficult task to do. I mean, even if you look at Mark Wahlberg, there's movies where he looks, he is a stud. He looks ripped. And then there's movies, where, like Ted and whatnot, where it looks like he's been a little bit more relaxed. He's not hitting it as hard as he...
I don't know, dude. He's like fucking 364. Dude, he goes on Christmas.
Yeah.
He doesn't wear the same clothing if he doesn't need to look buff. But that motherfucker, dude, I've seen him, like, people come up and he lifts his fucking shirt, six-pack since the 90s. That guy is the most religious that I've ever seen. Like, religious about working out. Wakes up at 3 o'clock in the morning,
Sure.
watches what he eats. Being ripped, and because you take off your shirt or wearing a baggy shirt to be the kind of everyday guy in Ted, doesn't mean he's not buff.
No,
he's not
that's
taking
not what I'm
his shit
saying.
off.
That's not what I'm saying, but his physique. Right, of like, he's never gotten fat. He's never gotten overweight, but there's a level to where like you sharpen your physique, and then you can take it, you can throttle some of that
I
back.
think that's for a six-pack, because six-pack is something that naturally
That's
doesn't
more of
happen
dieting.
unless...
That's more of dieting,
no,
dude.
but
of
still,
like,
even still, like, you have to purposely try to get a six-pack. You don't naturally have that.
No.
People are naturally big. I've seen people have big-ass fucking biceps and triceps naturally.
Sure.
I've never heard of anybody naturally having a six-pack.
Well,
you have to
it's
purposely
nutrition,
do it.
dude. It's nutrition.
But exercise, and that's what I'm saying.
And
But
nutrition.
he's never not had a six-pack. So if he's willing to do that, he is ripped all of the time. Because if you're doing the hardest thing, you're doing everything below that.
Right.
Everything below that. That's the one thing I'll argue about, because I follow him on Instagram, and that motherfucker every single day. People, other healthy celebrities have tried to follow his daily schedule and cannot do it. Hugh Jackman based his on what Mark Wahlberg does every day.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right.
Dude, his shit is insane. He eats like 6 times a day. He works out for 4 hours twice a day, every single day. Movies, not movies. It's something that he does for himself. It's not about a movie role.
Sure.
It's something he's always done for himself. That's why he's always had it. Hugh Jackman only needs to do it for Wolverine.
Right.
So once Wolverine's done, I'm not saying he's not a fit person in general,
Sure.
but he's not to do that, because there's a lot of actors who have come out and said it is so almost unhealthy to get that superhero physique and keep it.
Oh, for sure. Well, you get too big. You get too massive.
It's hard to do that, because you're like having to do so many different things with your diet, with working out, that to keep that up all of the time, unless that's your job,
Right.
obviously. That's not what normal people do every single day.
Not power lifter. He's strongman competitions. This guy named Eddie Hall. He actually had to slim down. He's about, I know he's tall. I'm like 6 foot. I'm gonna look it up. I forget exactly how tall he is, but he was like nearly 400 pounds of
muscle?
Yeah, of muscle.
Yeah.
There's still some fat on his body of with strongman competitions, you're not worried about your physique of you're
It's
worried about
strength.
it's just strength, just
Yeah.
pure raw strength, baby. And he had to slim down because he's just too big. And the thing is once you get that muscular big wise, it's almost worse than being obese, because your cardiovascular system has to work double, because it's got to push that much blood through the rest of your body.
Yeah, I mean, a perfect example of that is all the heart problems that Schwarzenegger's had.
Yeah.
As being a bodybuilder, he's proponent in his later life about making sure that you're healthy for what your body needs, not about because he had to keep that physique for so long.
Sure.
That it fucked with his heart. You would think, oh, this guy's so muscular and big and strong that it automatically means healthy, and that's not true.
It's overworked.
Your body's not meant to fucking lift weights 8 hours a fucking day.
No, not at all. That's
unless you're somebody there's certain people like The Rock, because he's Samoan, he has more natural to be big. There are certain
Genetics,
people that have genetics where they're going to be big whether they are muscular or not.
Sure.
But if you look at Schwarzenegger's brother, I watched the documentary and stuff, his brother was not a big dude.
Sure.
He had to work so hard to get that big.
Right.
He wasn't naturally, nobody in his family, so it wasn't genetics at all. It was all work.
All work and steroids.
Yeah, steroids and work, guys. But you gotta work at your steroids.
Yeah, you can't just take steroids. You gotta fucking work your ass off.
When you gotta remember to take your steroids, too.
Yeah. Get that back acne? Twice. I just watched that twice. I feel bad for you.
Yeah, that's... Oh, shit. I thought that was the worst. I thought that was it, but it wasn't.
Cue the theme music. You hate to see it. You just hate to
3
see it.
million, yeah. Nothing to be excited about.
All right. I always start this off with doctor number 1, because there's we gotta look it up again because there's 7 different doctors here. Almost said 10. I did say 10. I corrected myself.
So recently, here it is. Recently, Mark Wahlberg in the last year has slightly relaxed his daily routine and now sleeps until 3:30 a.m. He used to get up at 2:30. 2:30 in the morning.
How much does he sleep though?
All right, so this is he started to relax it this year a little bit, but since he was basically a young teen, wake up at 2:30. He's very faith-based, religious, so he prays at 2:45. Breakfast at 3:15. Workout from 3:40 to 5:15. Post-workout meal, 6 a.m. shower, 7:30 golf or sports, so more working out.
Yeah.
8 a.m. snack, 9:30 cryo chamber recovery, 10:30 snack, 11 a.m. family time, meetings, work calls, lunch, meetings, work call, pick up kids from school, snack, second workout, 4 to 6 p.m., then shower again, dinner, family time, bed, 7:30. Every day.
Yeah.
Whether he's on set or not. That's just insane.
So he gets about 5 hours worth of sleep?
A lot of really successful people do not sleep 8 hours. Actually, most of them don't. And it's really about how long it takes for your body to get into REM sleep. Because some people need, like for me, I could lay there for 12 hours and still be tired because my body's always coming in and out of it. It's not consistently in it. So that's why I don't sleep a lot of hours, because sleeping any extra amount of time, I'm just going to be just as tired.
Right.
Just as tired, guys.
Oh, I got extra ball. And I looked away. I lost my first ball. Exterminate. No.
Which one's yours? Your drink?
Oh, it's finished. Yeah, that was like a shot. It was like, all right, cool. Game over.
So that's a total of 4 hours of workout every single day, split between 2
What's crazy to me is like, with less than 8 hours of sleep.
If you do it enough, it's just with anything, it becomes a habit.
Yeah.
If it becomes a habit, it's the same thing for. So I'll use 0071 as an example. So he worked overnight forever. He was so used to it, because to me that's crazy to work overnight, right?
Sure.
But he got so used to it, and so when he switched schedules and he's working during the day again, it took a long time for him to get used to it.
Sure.
And then he would sleep on his days off. Still, he would sleep till like 10 or 11 or whatever, because he would stay up late.
Right.
Now he has a job where he's got to wake up at around 7, or he's got to be at work at 7, so he's up at like 6. So on his days off, he now wakes up at 6:30. His body is so used to it, even if he goes to bed at 3 in the morning, he's up at 6. It has become such a habit.
Sure.
That it's just ingrained in him. For me, I've always been willy-nilly. I've never had a consistent schedule long enough for it to be a habit.
Yeah, Kim says if you're working out that much, you pass out pretty quick. I used to work out a lot. I used to ride a bicycle for all my transportation needs.
I expect you to ride a bike over here from here.
Actually,
I'm gonna leave at 6 in the morning.
No, I used to do that kind of shit, dude. Of like, I never got big, but I was always, pretty toned. Of like, I had 6-pack abs at one point. Of like, I'm not trying to be like, oh, the glory days. Of like, I'm gonna start working out again. I'm not trying to get the physique that I had in my 20s. I just I need to do something for my own health.
Yeah, I need to. I feel like I'm gonna die every day.
Well, I'm sleeping way too much, and like no matter how much I sleep, I feel like I can't sleep enough. And there's a problem with that.
Obviously, for me, I know that exercise does help with that. But
Oh, for sure.
I have had periods in the last 5 or 6 years where been in good health, exercising regularly, eating well, and still slept a lot. So mine is all mental issues.
Well, I'm bipolar, so like, I'm bipolar too, so I deal with lots of depression. It's like Depression Plus.
That's the new streaming service that Dead's gonna be bringing you in 2024.
Depression Plus.
It's just nothing but sad times.
It only costs your tears to subscribe. Just robbery.
Yeah, I'm just not playing. I haven't played this table very well in general, so that was it. Yeah.
Dang, man.
Yeah, but for me, I just need to work out just enough for, like, what's the minimum, doctor, that you think I should work out? Whatever that is, that's all I need to do. Where I'm like, I feel good, like I'm not out of breath for no reason. You know, like just the basics. You know?
30 minutes of cardio, so like being on a bike, a vigorous walk. Like, you don't have to go fucking running and whatnot, but a vigorous walk, like...
You need to walk like Granny Goodness when she's getting a ticket. That's the type, that's how strong I want to walk.
But some activity, you know?
But I need to work. See, here's my thing. I do much better if I'm working out with somebody, because then it's guaranteed. Like, if it's easy when it's just me to talk myself out of doing it. Well, fuck it, I'll do it tomorrow. But when I've worked out with like Granny Goodness or Katie or something like that, you can't back out because it's somebody else. You're like, well, shit, I gotta go do it.
Right.
Because the other person's counting on you. See, like, I need that type of situation, because if not, I'll just talk myself out of it.
I have a gym membership, so if you want to hang out with me even more, we can go lift weights.
Well, I mean, I don't know how much weights I'm going to be lifting, but I'll be in the gym. I'll do some cardio. I mean, I'll lift some weights, but I need to do just some... The only thing I can't do here very well is... Push-ups are hard for me because I have a bad wrist.
Okay.
But if I use the machine, the bench press machine...
Sure.
You know, not free weights, but if I use that, I'll get a much better strength out of my chest because it's actually better for me on my wrist.
Are you talking about the Smith machine, so where the barbell's locked into a slot?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So like those ones I can do
that
all
also
day.
helps with your shoulders too, because Space Wizard has an issue with his shoulder. And he's always tried to keep up with me. Like this was like when I was lifting pretty consistently. He would try to lift as much weight as I was doing, and I was like, "No, dude, don't do that. This isn't a competition." I'm like,
That's why I don't work out with 071. I tried a couple times, and it was just like we literally were like almost puked because we were trying to outwork out each other.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "You're the wrong person. I'm too competitive with you. I need to do it with somebody who's not looking at what I'm doing and being like, whoa." Why aren't you? You know what I mean? Just let me do whatever is comfortable for me. Who gives a fuck? You know? You know how he is.
For sure. Well, it's like when I was running 10 miles and whatnot. Of like, I got to a point where like, I didn't want to compete against anyone. I just wanted someone to be there with me. Because you do it so much that it's like, when you do it alone so much, it's nice to have a little accompaniment. Even if you're not really having a conversation, even if you're not really, like, hanging out, quote unquote.
Do you even lift, bro? That's the tap out. That's the type of situation that Danny will get into if you're working out with him. And I'm like, no, I don't like those people anyway.
No, you're lifting. I had the goal of getting as strong as I possibly could, and I love that. But that's my goal.
I'm just trying not to die from bad health.
Right.
That's all I care about.
My thing is like, I want to do as hard of work as I can do and not compare myself with anyone else. Because I deal with depression issues anyway, comparing yourself to other people, it's a lose-lose situation. First off, you're not them, and you will never be them. You don't have the same struggles. You don't have the same accomplishments. You don't have the same background. You don't have the same frame of mind. There's none of that. You're completely different than that other person. You're completely separated from that. So the most important thing you can do is take a look at yourself. Take accountability of yourself. Take accountability of what you can do. And then move forward with that. Like, looking at things, you know, with the competitive eyes, that's useful if you're in sports. That's useful if you're actually going to compete. But if you're not going to compete and you're doing this for your own health, or if you're... It's just the same as the way I look at pinball. I'm not competing against Mr. Brightside. My whole thing is not to win every single table that there's ever been, and I get all the high scores, and I get all the victory. I don't care about that. I want to have fun. I want to have as much fun as I can. And one of the things that's fun for me is getting my score and then beating my score and being better than at this table than I was before. That's what I care about. And that's what I want to do. That's at least my framework. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Nope. You can't bounce it, you gotta shoot it. You can't bounce, you gotta shoot. Let's go with this, Doctor. Let's go with the multi-ball. You gotta shoot again. That's gonna straight drain on me. I did so good the last time I played this table. I'm not doing so hot this year. This year? Did I just say that? Yeah, let's go ahead and say this. This year's been a lot of growth. I went to a lot of shows this year. Went to Mastodon and Gojira, two of my favorite bands. Awesome show. Really, really stellar performance. I went to Animals as Leaders, and they played with Dream Theater and Devin Townsend. That was shred-tastic. Just absolutely shred-tastic. Let's see here. I'm kind of a weird guy. I basically love all kinds of music. And I even went to Bare Naked Ladies with Semisonic. They're the guy, if you guys don't know who Semisonic is, and if you've ever been to a bar when it's closing time, yeah, that's that band. Closing time. Alright, pretty rad. So my score on this that I've got to beat is 151 million. And I have not even gotten close to that score. So, whoa. I'm chipping it. There we go. We got a nice little pass. Nice enough and around the ramp. I keep hitting that center, and that's not going to get me points. There we go. One ball locked. Now I got Doctor locked. I got to get Ace locked. Oh, that went right around the bumpers. Don't like that. Oh. Well, that's not gonna work. One of the things I miss though is running, guys. I don't have bad knees. I don't have a bad back or anything like that, and I used to do a lot of cardio when I was a kid because I was a skateboarder. I did longboarding specifically, so like being here in Colorado, it's pretty easy to find hills to go fucking ridiculously fast.
I know,
on.
this is dead talk. No, it was, sorry, Granny Goodness couldn't get her Fire Stick to work. Did you try unplugging it and plugging it back in? No, that's all I went in there and just did.
That's always step one in any issue.
That's how you actually solve most problems. It actually is the solution to most problems. That's what's crazy.
Multi-ball. I lost 2 of them. And I lost the.
So if I didn't live here, she would have just not. She would have been just staring at a wall and never got it fixed. She would have called. No, she would have stared at a wall. If she watches a lot more TV than I do, even.
I'd read a book.
But wouldn't you also try to get the thing fixed at some point?
Yeah,
like
if I
maybe
tried-
that night I could see being like.
If I tried everything, then yeah. If I'm too drunk.
But what if you just don't try anything? You just give up immediately.
Oh no, that's. Yeah, no, that's not.
That's what I have to deal with, folks.
I've only gotten 18 million so far. I still have Doctor 1, which I like that special video mode. We'll go with this doctor. Nope. Nope. Not gonna happen. Ball 3. 20 million. Shaking my head. You're up.
All right, let's see how
You gotta use the
bad of a score I can get. Nope. 280,000 on my first ball, guys. 336, sorry. $701,000. 2 balls in. Oh, I almost. Not very good.
Dead talk. But I also want to go back to spending days of like signing up for like simple stuff like 5Ks and whatnot, and being able to run that the entire time without stopping, which is just 3 miles.
The one exercise for sure that I am not interested in is running, unless it's from the police. And even then, depends on what I'm running for. I've never. I used to do track, but it was like 100 yards. Like I'll run fast as fuck for a short period of time. I remember the mile, and this is like when I was like a teenager. I was doing sports all the time.
Right.
That was the hardest thing for me to do because everything was my entire life, as you know me even now.
Well, you're
100% or nothing, and that's not how you do longer runs. You do not do 100% the whole time, right?
No.
If you run at that speed, you're not going to do a mile.
Yeah, you can't. I'm like, you're all.
I did.
You're all gas, no
I
brakes.
had like a 6-minute mile. It was super fast when I finally did it. But man, was I dead even by this like 16 or something. Like it was not. I would not recommend it.
At 10-minute miles, you know.
I'll do a jog here and there.
As you get older, a 10-minute mile is more respectable. Nothing I can do. You hate to see it. You just hate to see it. I am not playing nearly as good as I did
Even 10 minutes ago.
I don't know what kind of timey-wimey stuff I was pulling. The last time I played this table, but you know what? This has been.
No, yeah, Kim said she also dislikes running. A few years ago, she ran some 5Ks, got in shape really quick, but hated every moment of it. A lot of people do not like running. That is a very common
It's hard.
thing.
Running's hard. It's not easy.
Anytime that I've gotten in shape in my life, it was always without running.
You don't have to run.
No, I know, but like, again, 0071, like, oh, you gotta go do these 5. Dude, I'm not training to do a tough mutter. That's not
Right.
my point. That's what you're doing, which makes sense. You're doing endurance training because you're doing it for a specific purpose.
Right.
I will not get any satisfaction and pats on my own back for doing any of that shit. I have zero fucking interest that I went through some obstacle course. It is nothing of interest to me. So why would I train to do that?
If you have no
He wants
motivation
people,
to do it,
yeah,
then-
because he wanted people to do it with him, and he did. He had Isaac do it with him. See, I was like, here's somebody who's interested in doing it. You're trying to get me interested in something that does not interest me.
right?
It's never going to interest me. It never has.
It's like if I all of a sudden said like,
Wouldn't you like the sense of accomplishment? No, because I'd feel like, why didn't I accomplish something that I actually care about?
right?
Who looks back at the things that they accomplished that they don't like? Even if it was good. Well, I'm so glad I did that thing I didn't like. Nobody says that.
No.
No.
I'm like, yeah, but you did it, so you
Yeah.
can say that you did it. And I'm like, there's certain things that I can. Here's one that I never care to accomplish: eating competition. I'm sure you could do it. I have no interest in that at all. Zero.
Yeah, but
I
I
have
mean,
no
that's
interest-
something that can make you, like, people get really sick.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily the same thing as a tough mutter.
You can get yourself sick.
Well, I
off
mean,
that
people
too.
overtrain, sure, but I mean, not as much as I feel like in eating competition. But there's people that like, I have no desire to jump out of a fucking airplane. I don't care to. It's not going to be something I know I'm not going to like it because I don't like the feeling of falling, and that's all it is. When you jump out of an airplane, that is all it is, and I do not like that feeling.
I have
but
nightmares of that.
There are people that are just so surprised when you tell them, like, that's not, wouldn't you feel accomplished? No. It's not like something like I tell Granny Goodness, like, you should learn how to swim just in case. These are like basic skills you should just have. Maybe you don't like swimming, but if you don't know how to swim, you don't know if you like it or not. But I have fallen before. I already know I don't like it. I've never liked it.
So there's a simulator for skydiving.
Yeah, the one where you like said the hair. Yeah.
I loved that. That was awesome.
Because you can get like it's a different mindset. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure. Like when I was doing it, I wasn't thinking, oh shit, I'm falling out of an airplane. I don't trust this person I'm strapped to. There's too many things for me to overthink.
All right, here's one thing. I don't like rock climbing. I don't.
I don't like hiking.
I like hiking. I do like hiking.
Like
it's
some
easy.
light hiking, but you know how many 14ers I've done? 0. Do you know how many people I've gone online and stuff, and they're like, oh, I've done 10 14ers, and like if you don't like, you're not a Coloradoan unless you like go on 14ers. I've driven up some 14ers.
Yeah. Well, I
know what the mountains look like,
I've met some people like that.
I don't need to climb them.
I've met people like that.
It's not a new experience. It's not like, for me, I get new experiences and feelings from interacting with stories, whether it be, you know, a game or a book or a movie or talking with someone. It's a different experience. Even though it's the same thing, I get something different out of it every time. If I'm climbing a goddamn rock, it is the same. It's going to be, for me, the same feeling. Wow, look at that. I'm up high, there's trees. It's not going to be any different.
Right.
It's not going to be any different. And I'm not knocking people that do like it, but I can understand because they enjoy the outdoors and seeing all this stuff. I like to explore.
Sure.
And if it requires some hiking to explore, that's fine. What I'm saying, my end result isn't to start at a bottom of a mountain and climb it for no reason.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I got
that's
you.
not my thing. But those people, a lot of people that are super into that, cannot fathom how dare I live in this state.
No, I've met people like that.
You know what I mean?
Like,
I'm just like, no.
They've got their Patagonia and all that of like, and usually they're not from Colorado.
Yeah.
Usually they're not even from here, but they like to act of like, no, I live in Colorado now. I am a Coloradan.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. No, people think that I don't like outdoors because I do. I like to camp. I like to do. I like to explore and go in the wilderness and you know, have peace. I like to do those things. The reason I don't is, for the most part, I mean we're friends now, but I'm saying in my entire life I've had almost nobody. I've always been friends with nerds. Sure.
People that are in their fucking basements playing video games, putting LAN parties together.
Right.
Do you think fucking 0071 likes camping? Absolutely not. He is going to spend a bunch of money on a huge ass cabin that happens to be in the woods, which is fine. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with going to a cabin either. But I've gone camping with him. It has been the worst outdoor experiences I've ever had in my life.
Does he know how to build a fire?
It's not there's bum. You know, he's just such a city boy. And I'm like, I'm a city folk. I like creature comforts, but I go into that with the knowledge and understanding that I'm going to have to give up some comforts. That's going to be different, but that's part of the fun. I'm not living out in the wilderness. I'm not becoming a wild man.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to go camping with him.
No, you don't. That's why we never will.
Because if you don't have objectives of like, first off, we got to go gather.
My objective is to make a fire, hang out, do some exploring. Maybe I'll do some fishing.
You know how to do that though, right?
Yes. I'll do some fishing. I'll definitely be doing some drinking and some cooking.
Sure.
For sure.
I don't get too drunk. I don't get too drunk when I go camping.
I'm up in the fire, fucking just hanging out, fucking telling stories. No electronics, just hanging out.
Sure.
Like, you know, I can imagine music's probably got like 18 TVs connected with a switch. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no, I go in with that experience, with the knowledge of that. Do I want to live that way? Absolutely not.
But it's fun to get away every once in a while. Of like, go do some fishing, especially of like, because there's nothing better than fish that you just caught on an open fire. Of like, it's so good.
You know me, I don't like fish, so.
Yeah, you don't like it, but to me, of like, that's living. Of like, that's a nice little vacation.
But for me, I'd want to like other things to do. Like I want to do some four-wheeling, like water skiing. Like I want some activities to do. I just don't also want to sit there and just sit in the wilderness either. Like I want to have at least something that we're planning to do.
Well, I've got throwing knives, throwing axes. Of like that's fun to do. Of like especially once you get the hang of it and you start practicing of like getting your aim down right. That's fun. Well, you've seen me at the arcade of like. I've gotten, you know, damn close with bullseye on all 3 axes, and those are plastic axes on a...
You talking about on my birthday?
Yeah.
I was just cheering you guys on, but I wasn't watching. I like to do that to people as well, too.
Yeah,
and
good.
Immediately
good job, bud.
I
don't give a fuck.
I do that a lot. It was my birthday. I only have to care when it's not my birthday. You only feign interest when you have to. But no, I do remember you doing it. I'm joking. I was paying attention. But I do like to do that.
I don't give a fuck!
Speaking of 007.
There she goes. There she goes again. Sorry, my voice is shrill, so sorry for that. Sorry. You had to listen to that. You're watching us, and I'm not being a gracious host. There's a little slowdown on this table. Damn it! That gap is so wide. It's just so bloody wide. What? That's it. That I only got 4 million on that turn. I want to know the dead that made 151 million.